Good morning, my beloved students. This is teacher Mustafa, and today we're going to talk about Ivy's journal. Okay, we've studied some pages, but just let me give you a quick reminder. This story is a historical fiction. That means that it has the events are not real, but the setting of the story is real. So the setting is the time and the place. Very good. So this story takes place in the 1900s. Okay, and it takes place in Mississippi. The characters of our story are two families actually. The first family, where is it? Just a minute then. Yes, the Mitchell's family and the Greenfield family. Okay, so the Mitchell's family rented a land to plant it with cotton, and the Greenfield family, they paid them for the pesticides and for everything else. They also rented the house from Mr. Greenfield. Okay, and the Mitchell family were sharecroppers. What is the meaning of sharecroppers? That means that they didn't pay money, but they gave the owner a large percentage of the crops at the end of the year. Okay, and as we've studied, we've seen that there was a school for white students and school for black students. The school for the white students, it was better, it was nearer, it didn't have a hole in the ceiling, but the school for the Negroes, it was a bad school, it was very far away, and it had a hole in the ceiling, okay? And Ivy wished that there was no segregation. What's the meaning of segregation again? Segregation is when you treat two people different because of their skin color, because of their religion, because of their if they are female or male. Okay. Ivy wished that this system stopped, but will it stop? We will get to know. Okay. So let's go here at June 22nd. Let me start reading. Okay. June 22nd. Mr. Greenfield stopped by the farm today to see how this year's crop is coming along. He gave Daddy a bill for everything that we owe so far this season. It was added to the money that we still owe from last year. Even though we had a good crop last year, it was not enough to cover the entire debt. Mr. Greenfield makes me nervous. He frowns a lot and is disrespectful to us. He talks to Mama and Daddy like they are children. I saw Daddy's jaw tighten as Mr. Greenfield said, "You better pay off all your bills this year, boy. I won't stand for any laziness on one of my farms." It's not right for Mr. Greenfield to say such things. He knows we work hard and are not the least bit lazy. He also knows that my siblings and I miss school to take care of the farm, while his son and daughter get to go to school every day. So I have to ask Walid.
Yes, Mr.
Walid, here, what is Ivy's feelings towards Mr. Greenfield?
I see feelings.
Yes, what are her feelings towards him?
He pill.
Huh. It's in
He pill.
paragraph 15.
Yeah, he pill and he pay. He pills this year boy. I want to start little lessons and run in my farms.
So what is Ivy's feelings? What are Ivy's feelings for Mr. Greenfield? What does she feel towards him? Is she happy around him? Is she mad around him? Is she angry about him? Is she nervous around him?
Mr. Last time we read the story, we stopped at 13 in this page.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we finished 13. Now we start 14. Okay.
Okay.
Walid, it's right here. Mr.
Mr.
Greenfield makes me,
nervous
yes, it makes me nervous. Very good. Why does he make her nervous? Why does he do that?
because he frowns and a lot.
Very good.
And
Now, Walid, if someone talked to you and he frowns, he's like that, will you be safe around him?
no.
No, you'll be afraid a bit, right? A bit nervous, a bit angry, right?
Right.
Yes, very good. And can someone talk to your dad as a boy?
No.
Would you accept it at all?
No.
So does he respect the Mitchell's family or he doesn't respect them?
Doesn't respect him.
He doesn't
them.
respect them. Very good. Very, very good. Now I have to ask Muhammad Abdul Basit,
Yes, Miss.
why doesn't Mr. Greenfield respect the Mitchell's family, Muhammad?
He doesn't respect because
Is it because that they're black and he's a white person?
no,
No, are you sure?
no difference between the people. So
Yes, that's what we know and that's what we apply. But back in the days in the US, there was a segregation between people. There was a differentiation between people. White people had status and black people had a status. So which one, Which is it? Why doesn't he respect them? It's because they are
because they are black.
very good. It's because they are black. Very good. And that's why if you remember, the black school is different from the white school, right? Do you remember
Yes.
that?
Yes.
Yes, this is why also the black school is different from the white school because there is a segregation. There's a differentiation. People are treated differently. Do we have that in Islam, Muhammad? Can we treat
No.
people differently?
No.
In our Arab world, do we treat people differently?
Every people is similar.
Yes, very good. Everyone is the same. Very, very good. Great. Now, Muhammad, I have to ask you a question. Is the Mitchell's family a lazy family?
No,
No. How do you know?
because uh, because they work and and they planted the crops and
Very
like
good.
this.
And sometimes Ivy and her sister does what? Huh? Miss the what?
I miss the school
Miss the school. Very good. Why do they miss the school, Muhammad?
because they work and they miss the school.
Very good. Very good. So are they lazy?
Ever.
No, they are not. Very good. They are never lazy. Very good. Thank you very much for that, Muhammad. Thank you very much for that. Okay, let's read 17. I could tell Daddy was trying not to answer angrily because men.
Mister, you haven't read 14.
I read it, Bara. I swear I read it.
Mister, do you know on Thursday
Guys,
or Friday,
let's
I
just
read
not.
the whole story.
Great, safe. Thank you. Okay. Number 17. I could tell Daddy was trying not to answer angrily because men like Mr. Greenfield sometimes hurt Negroes for talking back. Last year, a black man in our town was beaten for accidentally bumping into a white man in the street. The South can be a very, very hard place for black people to live. Okay. So, Yazdan.
Yes, Mister.
Now, what I need you to answer this question, please. Can you read it?
Yes.
Highlight a detail in the text that describes how Evie's father reacts to Mr. Greenfield.
Yes, Ivy's father. Very good. How does he act? Does he hit him?
No,
No. How does he act?
like
Hmm. Did he hit Mr. Greenfield?
no,
Very good. What did he do?
he acts he angry, but he
Huh? He did
don't
what?
want to
He
hit
did
him.
what? He did
He's
what? You're great. He did
angry.
what? Huh? He? Huh?
He
Huh? Very good. He was trying. Daddy was trying not to answer angrily. He was
not
trying.
angry
Yes, very good. Why, Yazan? What happens if he spoke angrily? What will happen?
because Mr. Greenfield sometimes hurt Negroes for
Very
talking back.
good. So if he answered angrily, Mr. Greenfield will hit him, right?
Yes.
Yes, great. Thank you. Very good. So he didn't, or Ivy's father didn't talk back to Mr. Greenfield, because if he did talk back to him, the white people will beat him. As you can see here, Ivy gave us an example that last year a black man was beaten because he accidentally bumped into a white man into the street. Oh my God, can this be real in our world right now? If someone hits someone in the street, they just bump into each other. They didn't pay attention. Can we hit that guy? Can we do that in our modern world today?
The guy that bumps just says sorry.
Yes, very good. We just say sorry and just we go on our ways, right? But back in the days in the US, it didn't work like that. It didn't work like that. As you can see here in the picture, who's Mr. Greenfield? Ahmed Ali. Which one is Mr. Greenfield?
This in the right.
Both have white shirts. Which one? Huh? Where's Mr. Greenfield and where's Ivy?
Ivy.
Yes.
Ivy. That we're behind her dad.
Very good. And where's her dad?
Is sitting on the ground.
Yes. Yes,
the
very good. So Ahmed Ali, can you see here? Now her dad looks what?
Nervous or angry.
Nervous, angry, very good. And what about Mr. Greenfield? What is he doing at the moment?
He's shouting at
Yes.
shouting at him.
Yes, Adam. Yes, Adam. Adam and Ahmed, very good. Very, very good. Okay, let's read this one.
But his head, it is no hair, and he is like potato from the top.
Okay, let's stop. Let's go here. Okay. Okay, so here we have a question. We will read the question before we read the passage. Highlight a detail in paragraph 18 that describes an unfair practice in Ivy's hometown at this time. So we will need something that is unfair, and it's here in the text. Okay, now let me read the text. July 13th. As I was washing the dishes after dinner, Daddy sat at the kitchen table, going over our bills. I know he wishes he could find a job other than being a sharecropper. People who work in stores and factories in our area can make good money, but those places refuse to hire Negro workers. It's another part of the discrimination that we face. So many Black people are stuck working on small farms and facing a mountain of debt. Everything depends on this new crop. I heard Daddy mutter to himself, it's the only thing that will save us. So I need Yusuf Ahmed. It's not here. Qusay.
Hi, good morning, Mister.
Yes, good morning,
Mr.
Yusuf.
Kusai answer in my question.
No, I
Ahmed.
did not answer. Adam.
Qusay, please. Qusay, please.
Adam Maher is answer question Ahmed.
Okay, Yusuf Ahmed.
Yes, Miss.
There's something here that is not fair. Something here in this passage that is not fair. What is it?
It is another part of discrimination.
Yes, what is another part of discrimination? What is it? Huh. What is the unfair? Yes?
Many Black people are struck working on a small farm and facing mountain of debt.
Very good. Very, very good. That's one thing. Very good. But what is the other thing? There's also, you know, when we say a discrimination.
Can I tell it?
Just a minute, Adam. When we say a discrimination, Yusuf, that means that one part does something, the other part doesn't. Got it? So it's like a comparison or a contrast between two things. Okay?
Unfair.
Wait, Adam. So what here is a contrast between two things?
People who work in stores and factories in our area make good money, but those places refuse to hire Negro workers.
Very good. Very, very good. This is it exactly. So Negroes can only work where? On?
Farms and small farms and facing mountain of debt.
Very good. Very, very good. This is it, Yusuf. Great. So those places refuse to hire Negro workers. So is this fair, Yusuf? Is it fair that a white person gets to work in a grocery store and a Negro person doesn't get the same chance?
No.
No, not at all, right? Now, this is called what? This is called what? Discrimination. Very good. The discrimination is the unfair treatment of a group of people based on certain categories. Based on certain categories, like if you're a male or female, if you're black or white. Got it?
Yes.
Very good. September 22nd. Today, we got a letter from Mama's brother, Uncle Egon. He used to be a sharecropper like us, but he left Mississippi not long ago when the bills got too high. At the beginning of the year, he took a train all the way west and moved to a city called Los Angeles in California. I couldn't imagine traveling so far away or leaving my friends and my family behind. But Uncle Iguan felt he had no other choice. In his letter, he told us that he found a job at a factory that builds airplanes. The planes will help carry supplies and soldiers for the war effort. He says that the factories need a lot of workers, so women and Negroes have the chance to get good jobs. Wow, they hire Negroes to work in factories there, I asked. California sure sounds different from Mississippi, Buck said, and we all chuckled. So here there's a differentiation between Mississippi and California. Right, Qusay? Qusay?
Yes.
Is there a contrast between California and Mississippi?
Yeah, in
What is the contrast?
In California, the people can all the people can work in factories.
Very good.
women or a man can work in the factory.
Yes,
But
either he's a white man,
in
or
the
a black man, right, Qusay?
Yeah, in
Yes,
the
great.
Mississippi United States, there is the black people, they are not allowed to go to the factory
Very good,
except
Qusay.
the white people.
Very
And
good.
the-
Only white people. Very good. And where do the black people work in Mississippi?
And sharecropper.
Very good.
And
As
farm.
sharecroppers. Great, Qusay. Very,
But
very good. Thank you very much for your help.
But in California, they can work what they want.
Yes, they can work. They can have a chance to get good
In
jobs. They can work in
restaurant.
factories. Yes, great.
Yeah.
Great, Qusay. Thank you very much for that.
They must from the beginning to the story, they go to California.
Yes. Here, what can you see in
Because-
this picture? Yusuf Rafat, what can you see in this picture?
I see a teacher and
Yes.
the girls.
The girls, and those are boys also, right?
Yes,
What
two
are they
boys and
doing
two
here?
girls.
Yes, what are they doing here?
Study.
Yes. What about the books? Can you notice something about the books?
Yes, one box for two girls and one box for two boys.
Yes, very good. So it's one book for two girls and one book for two boys. Why is that? Did they have money to buy more books, Yusuf, or they were poor?
No, poor.
Poor,
Poor.
very good. They were poor, very good. And can you notice something about the color of the skin?
Black.
Yes, and also the teacher is
Black.
black. Very good. So everyone here, so this is which school is it? The white school or the Negro school?
The Negro school.
The Negro school.
Negro
Very
school.
good. Very, very good. The Negro school. Let's read.
Sir, close my mic.
Yes, please, Yusuf. You've done a great job. Thank you very much for that. September 28th. Today in school, we talked about people like my Uncle Egon. I learned that many Negroes have been leaving the South for years now. They leave to find better jobs, get a better education, and escape segregation. In the past, they traveled to New York, Philadelphia, Chicago, Detroit, and other cities in the North to find work. Today, a lot of people are heading out west to places like Los Angeles. This kind of movement of people from one place to another is called a migration. And we know what's a migration, right, guys? Can you remind me, Muhammad Ala, what's a migration?
Yes, Mister.
What's a migration, Muhammad? Remind me, please.
Migration.
Yes, what's a migration? It's moving from one place to
From one place to another place.
very good. To do what?
To and another.
Yes, to find another, or to find better.
Find another better jobs.
Very good. And better
Education.
education. Very good, Muhammad. So again, what is the migration, Muhammad?
Migration is
Yes.
and another.
No. It's moving from.
Find better jobs.
Yes, it's moving from one
And
place.
better education.
Very good. It's moving from one place to another place to find better jobs and better education. Correct?
Yes.
Can you say it alone now?
From another place to
No.
another place.
Yes, from one place to another place. Why?
Better jobs get a better education.
Very good. To find better jobs and get a better education. Great, guys. Great. Now here, thank you very much, Muhammad. You're of a great help. Thank you. So here let's read the question, then think about it while reading the text. Highlight a detail in paragraph 24 that explains why working conditions are different in California. Why working conditions are different in California. So let's read and find out. At dinner, Daddy told us that he had been asking our neighbors what they know about living and working in places like California. He found out that last year, President Franklin Roosevelt signed a special order. It said companies that manufacture equipment for the military cannot practice discrimination. That means they cannot refuse to hire workers because of their race or ethnicity. I need Adam Maher. It's your turn now. Oh, lucky boy.
Yes, Mr.
How the working conditions are different from California than Mississippi, Adam?
It's better to live there, and
Yes.
there is many chance
Yes,
for
very good.
women and Negroes to work
Very good.
another better works
And
and
is
jobs.
there discrimination, Adam? Is there discrimination?
No,
No. Is there a segregation?
no,
No. Yes, very good. So there, can a black man be different than a white man? Or they are the same
No.
in California?
the same.
But what about Mississippi? Are they the same in Mississippi?
No, they are different.
They are different. Very good. They are different in Mississippi. They are not the same. Very good. Okay. Oh, we won't be able to finish that. Okay, but we will try. Okay, here. As you can see here, oh, yes, those are, just a minute. Tariq, what can you see in those two pictures, Tariq?
Two men are working at a motorcycle.
Yes, is it a motorcycle though? Yeah, it's
No.
a kind of engine.
Yes.
It's a kind. Now, this, where do you think men work on engines? Where do you think? At home?
No cars or the work.
Yes, where do they
Place.
work? Where do they work? You know, at home
No,
or in
at
factories?
in factories.
Factories, very good. And where do you think you can find black men working in a factory? In Mississippi or in California?
California.
In California, very good. Is there segregation in California?
No.
No, there isn't. Very good. There isn't. Okay, now let's
Mister,
read.
this engine, it is the engine of airplane because he told us about his working in the factory of the airplanes.
Very good, very, very good. And also, it can be an engine for a tank because those factories work for the war effort, right?
Yeah.
They
Mister,
supply the
this
military.
shape of engine, it do not enter the motorcycle. I know the shape of the engines.
Yes, because this is too big, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
it is for
great.
an airplane.
Yes, great. Okay.
read
So here we have a question. So let me read it, and then we will find the answer. Okay. Take your time reading the question. Okay, but we don't need it now, actually. Just leave it for now. Most factories that make those kind of products are out west. You don't find them here in the south. That's why Uncle Egon was able to get a factory job in California, even though it's impossible for Black people to get that kind of work here. I try to picture what it might be like to live in a place where Negroes have more freedom, where people like me could apply for any job they wanted. Maybe I didn't have to live on small farms all my life. Maybe one day I could move somewhere else and do other kinds of work when I grow up. Now, let's read the question and try to find the answer on 27, 28, 29. Okay, but before we read,
this one بس بدي أعمله update.
Tariq, before we read,
Yes,
guys,
Mr.
please. We knew, Tariq, that the above picture was a picture of people working in
People working in a engine.
On an engine. Very good. Where are they working? In a factory or
In a
at home?
factory.
Very good. In California or in
Factory.
Mississippi?
In California.
In California, okay.
Mississippi cannot black man work in a factory.
Very good. In Mississippi, a black man cannot work in a factory. Now, I need Yahya Mustafa. Thank you very much, Tariq. Yahya. Oh, Yahya is not here.
Yes,
Yes, Yahya. What can you see here in this picture here?
it's a cornflower.
It's a cotton, yeah. What's else? What else? There's something above the cotton. What is that?
Spider. It's like a spider.
It's like a spider, yeah. So it's a what? An insect or an animal?
Insect.
An insect. So do you think that insects are good for crops or bad for crops?
Bad.
Bad for crops. So what do you think happened in the story? Huh? What do you think will happen? Huh? What is this?
They can't sell any one of those because the insect is on it.
Yes, very good. So they can't sell the cotton because there had pests on it. So let's read and find out what happened. Here in the question, it says highlight a detail. Okay, so let's leave that to the next period because we only have like 3 minutes left. Okay, so to sum up now, here we started here. Yes, we knew that Ivy wasn't happy about the idea of segregation and the family worked as sharecroppers. We knew here that Mr. Greenfield is talking in a bad way to Mr. Mitchell and that Mr. Mitchell is not happy, neither Ivy, because Mr. Greenfield makes her nervous, okay? But Mr. Mitchell is trying not to answer because if he answered him or if he replied to him, Mr. Greenfield will hit him. Also, in Mississippi, Black people couldn't work in stores and factories. They could only work on small farms, but it all changed in California, where Black people got the chance to work for factories. Here we see the school, the Ivy School, where two students share just a single book because they are poor and they cannot afford lots of books. As you can see, all the students are Negroes, and this school is a bad school because it has a hole in the roof, okay? And that day on the September the 28th, they discussed migration, which is moving from one place to another place for a better job and a better education. Also, it gave us here a hint about people working in the West, that there's no segregation, they can work in factories and there's no problem there.
Mister,
Yes,
the
and
uncle of
just a minute, Musa, let
the
me just end that. Let me just end that. So Ivy dreamt of going there and applying for any job that she likes and not being stuck on this farm for the rest of her life. This period was great. I really loved it. And I want to thank you all. And I'll see you again after the break. So love you guys. Bye.
Bye.